Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Shanti. I don't answer yes, no questions in the morning, specifically on my evening streams. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. You're welcome to come back. I should be on later on tonight. I have some other things to do today, but I should be on tonight or tomorrow. Welcome in, guys. I don't answer yes, no questions in the morning. Thank you for the follow, though. My morning lives are all for motivation. They're not for my tarot readings or yes, no questions. We are diving into You Are a Badass Every Day. You're welcome to stay, get some motivation for yourself, learn how to create the life that you want, and make the best of it. Get your excuses out of the way and go after things instead of, taking them as they come. Welcome in, welcome in. Good morning, guys. I do not answer yes, no questions in the morning. That is specifically on my evening streams. Stick around, though. It's always a good time in here in the morning because we get called out and we learn how to shift our life. We learn how to take back our power. Thank you for the likes, guys. Good morning, good morning. Come in, say hi. Stick around. Learn how to transform your life. How to take back your power. Hello, Princess J. Princess Nay J. How are you? Good morning, Indigo. I'm doing well today. How are you? Is that Rolly? Welcome in, guys. I don't answer for yes, no questions in the morning. That's specifically to my evening streams. In the mornings, we talk about You Are a Badass Every Day right now. We are learning how to take back our power, do some self-development, become stronger within ourselves. Great way to shift your life. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Friday so far. I did not want to wake up this morning. I, of course, did not get to sleep till like 3 o'clock this morning. So, seems to be my habit this week. Not going to bed until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I usually take a nap in the afternoon. But it caught up to me today. I wanted to go back to bed so bad. I'm like, nope. We're making shifts. We're making changes. But just to remind everybody, I will not be on Monday. I am going to get my own type of therapy on Monday. I can't wait. Hello, good morning. Thank you for sharing the live. Good morning. How's everybody surviving their first week of 2023? I'm curious, did you make a resolution? Are you holding to your resolution? Good morning, Misty. Grand Rising, how are you? Hello, hello. Hello, good morning. Good morning, beautiful. How are you? Hello, hello. You're frustrated? No, it's not a frustrated Friday. It's a fantastic Friday. Oh no, you're in pain. I'm sorry. Budget planning, my resolution. Good morning. That's awesome. I love it. That seems to be a big one for a lot of people. A lot of people in my awareness. Budget planning. It's a good thing. I always find it's very smart to approach it as a way of how you're directing your money to go instead of like restricting yourself. You're directing your money where to go and how you will spend it in a positive manner. Good morning, Elise. How are you? Hello, hello. Good morning, guys. For those who don't know, our morning motivation lives, we do talk You Are a Badass Every Day. Good morning. We start off with a 5-minute meditation. It's just a way to kind of, calm your mind, release all that inner chatter, and to be ready to receive all the information we're about to get into. And then we do, I don't know, depends on how many pages, but we get into a bit. We really look at how we can apply what we learn and, discuss different things that resonate with us and how we can shift it within ourselves. Good morning, Monica. Resolution is to continue to flow with everything in the now. I love it. I love it. Being aware, being present. How are you, sweetheart? We're going to give it about 5 minutes, guys. Let a few others kind of trickle in, and then we'll do our 5-minute meditation, and then we'll get into the book. Again, just to be aware, I will not be on Monday. I'm going for my own therapy on Monday. Getting tattoo therapy on Monday. And I didn't even put it together that, like, we're at the beginning of a year and I'm getting a phoenix tattoo. I had a dizzy spell last night. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm doing good. I'm tired. I didn't want to get up this morning. I have a big weekend. I'm doing a lot of... We got our dumpster coming today. So I'm clearing out not only my house, but my father's house. Because eventually I'll probably be over there. Trying to get things cleared out so the kids and I can move over there. And Justin, of course. But yeah, so we're trying to clear all that out. And so that's what my weekend's going to be. Not one, but 2 houses. Getting rid of all the things that are no longer serving me. Clearing out the clutter. Yeah, and that's why I'm like, everything is just literally falling into place. Because hopefully by Monday, which I should have most of it all cleared out. Well, especially from my dad's house, just because I have a lot of it already ready to go. And so yeah, so it is just completely symbolic about getting a phoenix tattoo through this. Oh gosh, I do. I do. Because we did this almost 2 years ago too. We had a dumpster for our house about 2 years ago because it was just, there was so much stuff. And it's not even that we've accumulated a whole lot over the past 2 years, but like, you know, you hold on to things, you're like, I don't know, will I need it or will I won't, or maybe I'll try and sell it. Yeah, I haven't. So I'm like, I'm just getting rid of it. Like, I'll post and be like, hey, if you want this, it's at this address, you can take it. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, like, it was a big lift 2 years ago, so I'm ready to see what happens now because I'm in a totally different mind frame from then too. I was just like coming out of my dark night of the soul 2 years ago when I did it, and it was freeing, but now it's like, okay, now it's really time to clear it all away. You would be the one diving the dumpster. That's funny. I was talking to a friend last night, which is why I wasn't on last night. And yeah, they're like, what's your address? Because I'll come and dumpster dive. Meanwhile, they don't live anywhere near the state, but I'm like, oh. I mean, there's so much too. I mean, it's actually 3 houses are getting cleared because my sister-in-law is doing her house as well. She lives across the street from my father. And so, and I live about 2 miles from my father. So it's just like there's going to be a huge lift in so many people's lives just from this weekend. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Definitely. I mean, my mom was an avid yard sailor, and so she has so much stuff um, stashed and it's even upstairs, and they don't use their upstairs. So like it's completely out of sight, out of mind, and I'm just like, holy crap, there's so much stuff. So much. She has or she also crocheted, and I bet you there's probably about 20 homemade blankets in her home, which I will not be getting rid of, but yes. Well, and that's the thing, like, that's like my mentality, obviously, because, I am, possibly moving over there. So looking at my stuff saying, well, do I want to take this? Is this something that I need? Like, I want to have that mentality as if I were moving. Would I keep this? Right? Because when you move, you literally like really downsize in all your stuff and all your clutter. So that's kind of the mentality I'm going through with the clear out of this house. So what I need is Justin to detach from a lot of his stuff. He's the hoarder. Well, I don't like to use that word hoarder, because it's not like our house is like you can't walk through it. You can't, absolutely. But like his garage, he has so much stuff, and he's a repurposer. So it's him detaching from, oh, but I could use this and I can make it this. So because he's a contractor, and a lot of the stuff he's brought in the past 4 years is all good things. It's not like anything is bad or junk. It's just, it takes up space, and it's just like, well, what are you doing with this? Yeah, yeah, and that's normal. So, alright, guys. It is 8:17, so I'm gonna get started and put the 5 minutes on the clock for this morning meditation. So again, we're just gonna take some deep breaths, close your eyes. I'm gonna go off camera, but try to clear your head. You are going want to entertain those thoughts. Just bring it back to your breath. Take a deep inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and let it out for 4 seconds. Again, if you get distracted with thoughts, refocus on your breathing. It'll help get back into that flow. So I'm going to start the 5 minutes. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, time is up. Good morning, Tricelle. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, if I will be on tonight. There's a possibility I will be with a couple of friends, to do like a full moon. They're not readings. We're just kind of doing a full moon talk, and that's going to be around 6. So after we kind of have that, I may be on my own doing readings and stuff. But I have a lot of work I'm doing this weekend. So we'll see. Oh, okay. I don't know if she's even still in here. I didn't even look. She might not be. All right. Can't believe how far in this book we've already gotten. And guys, if you don't know, I am doing a giveaway of this book and the next one that we'll be doing. If you go onto my profile, it is the pinned post. You can enter to win it. You just have to tag 3 friends in that video, and then type Batty and make sure you're following me. Good morning, Brittany. So if you're interested, this is a great book to keep on hand, just because literally if you're feeling anxious or you feel as if you need to be refocusing, it's a good book to just pick off the shelf, open it up, and, you know, find out what you need to be, like, putting your energy towards, or just to kind of click again, like, oh, you know what, I'm overthinking things, let me do this. So, it's a good book to have. So if you're interested in that, check out my pinned post. I'm going to be posting more about that. I want to get this account to 20K. And that's when I will be giving these away. So make sure that you guys check that out. You can share the video, save it. Good morning, Christy. Also, I have some big news coming later on. Maybe today. We'll see. If not, I'll be releasing some big news by the end of the weekend. Or first thing Monday. Exciting. I'm excited. So. Alright, so let's get into it. See what we got today. Come up with an image that represents your personal sanctuary. Maybe it's sitting along a stream in a beautiful forest, or lying in an open field of flowers, watching the clouds slowly pass overhead, or cuddling in the arms of your soulmate while staring over the desert at a full moon, or sitting on a cold metal bench eating a corn dog at a mud wrestling match in Queens. Find a comfortable, quiet place to sit, close your eyes, and call up the image of your sanctuary in your mind. Stay focused on the image. Feel the air of your imagined world and on your skin. Hear the sounds. Be there fully. Whenever your thoughts try to barge their way in, place your focus back on the silent image and connect with all the feelings and energy of being there. Do this meditation as often as possible for at least 10 minutes at a time. Now, what she is explaining there is probably better than what I have tried to explain about manifesting. If you want to, call up that relationship that you want, that you're desiring, right? Don't make it about a who, but go to that place of cuddling with your soulmate, right? Feeling loved, feeling secure, and experience in that moment what it is that you want. And you can do that with so many different things. You can do that with a new home, right? How would it feel sitting in your new home, right? Sitting on the couch looking out the window as the snow falls. Drinking your coffee in the morning on your, sun porch or whatever. That's how you manifest, right? You experience it. You just don't see it. You just don't think about it. You experience it in your imagination. Okay, and that's what she's talking about there. You don't have to do the 10 minutes. I think that's a great way to start because it gets you in that moment because you are feeling and experiencing everything. But you're going to fall out of state. It's almost always guaranteed that something is going to trigger you and you're going to fall out of that state. You're going to, react the way you don't want to. So it's important to then just like go back to that feeling. Go back to feeling your spouse's arms around you or your boyfriend or your girlfriend's or whatever, right? Find that just that little quick, you can pull it up and get into that feeling. Compress it, put it down into a split second so you can just close your eyes and get right back there. Yeah, yep, exactly. A huge relief at first and then comfortable after that. Absolutely. And that's literally how you develop a scene when you're manifesting, right? You get in there, you experience it as if it's happening right now, but go past receiving the new house, right? Already be in that new house, experience that new house, decorate that new house, right? See it, feel it, smell it, taste it, right? Use as many senses as you can to feel into that so you can then, when you may trip and fall and get into worries and fears, you can just close your eyes and get right back there. So she explains it really well there. Again, just get your senses involved. Imagine it and feel it and experience it now. That's how you're going to be able to pull everything to you instead of someday, one day, right? It's taking it away from being someday in the future. Because if that's what you're imagining, someday or one day, you are just pushing it off because you're not experiencing it in the now. All right. Waiting until you know exactly what you're doing, or until all of the circumstances are just right, or until you have a large pile of extra cash lying around, is the best way to wake up at 97 years old, fishing your teeth out of a cup by the bed, wondering what the hell happened to the life you were so excited to live. Procrastination is just fear in the form of breaks, and fear is not the boss of you. Start right now. And here's the tip. Start small. Chunk your to-dos down into manageable bits of time, or break your tasks up into friendly little baby steps, instead of trying to get the entire thing done in one intimidating leap. Especially if what's been dogging you is something you've been successfully putting off for a while. For example, if you're struggling to commit to a meditation practice, sit in silence for 7 little minutes a day. Then after a while, up it to 8 minutes, and then 9, and then you're on your way. If you're writing a book, sit at your desk with your phone turned off, the internet disabled, armed guards at your door, and do not get up until you've written 1 brilliant paragraph. The next time you show up for work, write 2 brilliant paragraphs. Then up it to 3, and then 4, and then you're on your way. Motivation, commitment, focus. These are all muscles that, like any muscle, require strengthening. If you push yourself too hard right out of the gate, you'll hurt yourself and walk in wide circles around the gym instead of going inside whenever you're in the neighborhood. If you build slowly and steadily and chunk it down, not only do you save yourself some pain, but you'll start noticing changes almost immediately. And there ain't nothing that makes you show up and keep showing up like getting results. Right? So, again, we talk about this like taking baby steps. A baby step is still a step, right? It's a small movement. And when you accomplish that and you master that, the next step doesn't seem as difficult. It doesn't seem as big, right? But you're taking a bigger step. Or maybe you're not. It doesn't matter. Progress is progress. Okay? So it's important to commend yourself, right? I did it. I took a step. I set out to do this and I did it. And congratulate yourself. Have gratitude for being able to do something like that, for taking a chance on yourself, for sticking to your guns, holding yourself accountable. Because a lot of the time, by the time we get, whether it's to our age or, as we get older, it's so easy to be like, well, now I'm this age. What's the point in going after the dream? Like, it's too late. I'm too old. We make up those excuses. But it's never too late, and you're never too old, and it's never the wrong time. The right time is when you say so, right? You might not have things lined up. You might not have the extra cash to start a business, but maybe you have a little bit of extra time where you can, come up with ideas that would go along with that, right? Maybe you can create content that helps you create interest. So when you are ready to launch, you already have, followers or potential clients in place to get it moving. And then that you have to keep motivated. You have to keep consistent and persistent, right? Even if it's just 10 minutes a day right now. Like setting up a 10-minute chunk of time to focus on what it is that you want. Again, if you're writing a book, write a book, right? She says do one paragraph. Commit to one paragraph. What helped with me is I literally would set a timer. I think it was for like an hour. I could not be disturbed. And I put headphones in. I had certain music I played. And I just went into a flow. I just wrote. Like, I had an outline I followed of how my book was going to go, and I would work on that. So, for each quote-unquote chapter, I think I would focus 20 minutes, right? And then I might take a 10-minute break, and then 20 minutes. So, do whatever works for you, but commit to it and stick with it. Because it's so easy, just like I was saying when I first got on here. I didn't want to get up this morning. I did not. I did not get to bed until almost 3:30. And my alarm went off at 6. I was not ready to get up, but I've made this commitment to show up Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., right? I want to show that. Of course, again, I won't be on Monday, but that was already planned. So I'm holding myself accountable. It's easy to say, I'm just going to go back to bed. They'll understand, right? But no, I've made this commitment. I made this commitment first and foremost to myself to do these things. You guys have made the commitment to show up, right? You show up, you support, you learn. This is your way of holding yourself accountable. So we're all in this together. And that's what pushes me. And, maybe it's part of my people-pleasing personality that I don't want to let others down. But first and foremost, I don't want to let myself down. Because if I would have went back to bed, I would have been like, oh man, now I feel bad. Right? Because not only for me would I have been like it literally, like, what's another hour of sleep at this point? It's not going to make or break my day. It's not going to make me feel better. I'm going to be tired this weekend anyways. And so, you know, I'm really learning how to push off my distractions and my excuses and show up each and every day. And I'm so proud of you guys for coming in here and showing up. Because I know how easy it is to be like, oh, I could get one more hour of sleep instead. And don't get me wrong, there are days that you do need that extra hour of sleep, and that's fine. But it's always good to ask yourself, is this an excuse? Or do I truly need it? Right? Because I want to keep proving to myself that I can show up for you guys, that you know, this is part of my plan, my purpose, and I know it is. So it's easy for me to overcome those excuses to be here. And, you know, it's an hour or an hour and a half, and we always have a good time. So, you know, it works out. So just take it easy on yourself. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to take a step. You just need to figure out what you can do at this moment. There's so much out there that you can do to get you motivated and moving into the direction that you want. You just have to get out of your own way and do something. Try something. It might not work, and that's okay. Then you can say, okay, that didn't work as well as I thought it would be. Maybe I'll come back to that later. Maybe it'll work in the future. That's why, like, if you watch any of the, like, TikTok creators that help people grow their TikTok, they say, you know, if a video didn't do well, hold it off, try it at a different time, release it at a different time of the day, maybe a week or two later. Maybe you change up the sound, right? Maybe you change the information. Like, you have to keep trying. And again, it could just been a bad timing. It could have been, you know, maybe you needed to change the video. But regardless, the most important thing is that you continue to try. Right? If we just sit back and say, well, that didn't work, I guess I'm not supposed to do this, right? We've given up. We've already secured that it won't work. Keep moving. Keep trying. Keep, you know, finding that spark every day. All right. She goes on to say, I release regret, shame, and guilt. I embrace the absurd magnificent of the cosmic joke called life. If you're not getting the results you desire, figure out what you can do differently instead of pushing harder. Can you shift your focus from one task to another? I know someone whose business was stalled after years of steady growth. He was working his rear end off, but nothing changed until he realized that because his business was cranking, he had so much more on his plate that he no longer had the space to focus on sales, which he loved and was great at. So he delegated almost everything that didn't have to do with sales, got back to selling, and his business started kicking butt again. Can you come at your roadblock from a completely different direction? Perhaps even act as if you're someone else? For example, if you're out there in the dating world and have gone out with a stream of duds, try dating someone who's not your type. Can you change your attitude? Dig deep and see if you can excavate any hidden doubt, fear, worry, crankiness due to impatience, etc. Then turn that frown upside down. Can you take a bigger risk? Can you reach out and ask someone to help you see something you might be missing? Can you do something so unexpected you surprise even yourself? How crazy is that? Like, it literally is. Again, we talk about it a lot, you know, in readings, in the evening streams, just in chit chat. It's looking at things from a different perspective. Ask someone, right? Especially if you have, the resource. Yes, good thing it'll be on YouTube later. Absolutely. Especially if you have the resource of somebody who does something similar to what you want to do. Can you, can you reach out to them, ask them for advice, ask them for help? What would they suggest? Right? Or say, am I missing something? You could ask a marketing specialist or somebody who's good at marketing, somebody who's good at creating content. And they may have a suggestion. Brittany, you might have to update TikTok too, which I know is a pain because I had to do it yesterday, and I had to get rid of so much on my phone just to update TikTok. It was ridiculous. Just letting you know, because I think there was a big update at the end of the year. All right. Get in your car, drive somewhere isolated, roll up the windows, and scream your head off. Set a timer and do this for 3 whole minutes, as loudly and forcefully as you can, without stopping, and with the fervor and dedication of a person on fire, literally and figuratively. If you don't have a car, find the biggest and most stifling pillow in the world and scream into it. When you're done, sit back, breathe, relax, and notice how freaking awesome that felt. Repeat as often as you can. Releasing the frustration, releasing the inner doubt, the inner fear, and pushing that's what it feels like to me, is literally pushing out the disappointment, the fear, the frustration, right? Getting it out of your body, getting that negative energy out, and reclaiming being the badass that you are. You have every single thing you need within yourself to make manifest whatever you desire. The desire itself came from the same place that the physical manifestation of this desire comes from. They are one and the same. They cannot exist without each other because they are each other. Trust in the truth that thoughts and things are the same stuff. Believe it. I mean, why the hell not? Why do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Sorry. Rejoice in it. Get all stuck up about it. And go about your life with the knowledge that all you desire is right here, right now. The opportunities, the brilliant ideas, the new car, the person you want to meet, the money, they already exist in the universal consciousness. And they're already on their way to you in this physical plane. Your job is to shift any negative beliefs that that are holding you back. Align your thoughts and energies with that of your new reality, and take decisive, fearless action so the physical manifestation of your desires can come running into your loving arms. In other words, you have to get out of your own way. This affirmation will help you step aside and receive. I am whole. I am complete. Everything I desire is already here. And that's one that's going around. A lot of people will quote Louise Hay on that. If you've never heard of her or checked her out, she has a book called How to Heal Your Life. She has several different variations of that too, like how to heal your health or something. But the main book was How to Heal Your Life. And she puts in a lot of affirmations in there, and she talks a lot about that. I used to have that book. I have lent it out to a friend, and I have not got it back, but that's one that I would love to eventually go down as well. But that's something you can easily say each and every day, especially when we're feeling that frustration, right? I'm whole, I am complete. Everything I desire I already have or is already here. So again, we talked about the luckiest girl, right? The luckiest person. I'm so lucky. Everything comes to me easily and effortlessly. Everything will work out. Everything is working out in my favor. Whatever it is that feels right for you. And continuously say it to yourself. Put it into conversation, right? You can easily find a buddy, right? Find a friend and you can say things like that. You can joke around and have fun with this. Again, the universe doesn't know the tone. You can say, "Wow, work's going so well. Everything's working out for me," especially when you are having a frustrating day. It's easy to do that, and it will shift you, right? It might feel a little goofy at first, and like I said, you can be sarcastic with this, but you can say this over and over just to get you out of that negative thinking and out of that negative expectation. Try it out. What do you have to lose? But aside from some negative feelings and a bad attitude and creating more of fear and frustration. Okay, every time you come from a place of I need to get X today, flip that impulse around and make it about giving. For example, if you realize you're out of toothpaste, instead of focusing on getting some, focus on giving the drugstore your business, on giving the employees a smile and a hearty thank you mutual, on giving thanks that you have the money, bodily ability, and transportation to make this dental adventure happen, on giving your teeth the love and attention they deserve, etc. Do this all day with everything and take note of how that flips your energy, your focus, and your results. I actually like that. I haven't heard that before. Instead of, you know, I need toothpaste, I get to give my business to the drugstore or, the mom and pop shop. Or it doesn't matter if you want to give it to Walmart, right? All depends on what you do. It can be a big store. It can be a small mom and pop. It doesn't matter. But feeling into the state of gratitude of being able to do something like that. Being grateful that you're able to not only give yourself what you need, but support somebody else in the process as well. I think that's actually really beautiful to look at. You are doing a great job. Have you ever noticed how when you vacation somewhere new, you're so much more open, you engage with more people, notice so many more things, feel more alive, expect the unexpected, explore more, enjoy more, eat stuff you never thought you'd put anywhere near your open mouth? When we're on an adventure in a new surrounding, it's like time and space take on completely different, more vibrant qualities than they do when we're doing through our routine everyday lives. It's like you're wearing a special travel perfume that attracts a different reality to you. Decide that today you will spray on the travel perfume and be a stranger in your own land. Treat everything in your world like it's brand new. Get out of your rut. Take a different route to work. Wear a hat if you never wear one. Speak to strangers if you normally keep to yourself. Shop at a different supermarket. Eat at a new restaurant. Sleep on the other side of your bed. Shower in the guest room shower. Road trip to somewhere new. Wear a fanny pack and a visor and ask people for directions. Mix it up today and notice any brilliant observations that come up or any wonderful surprises that you'd like to incorporate into your everyday life. Excuse me. I say this all the time. Do something different. Get your brain thinking. Eat your meal with your left hand if you're normally right-handed, right? Switch it up. Get out of that rut. It makes your brain go, what the heck are we doing? This is different. And explore that. Take a different route to work. I don't care if you walk differently, walk backwards. Who cares if you look silly? Those people who see you probably won't ever see again in your life. Or, you can just easily say, I was trying something different. I wanted to be a little goofy, so I walked backwards. What's it to you? I hope you enjoyed it, right? I hope you take a laugh out of that. I hope that made your day. Maybe I'll be imagining you doing that later. Who knows? It's important to play with this and put it into practice. Because being in a rut is just so easily, it's that autopilot. And we're not creating what it is that we want to. Good morning, Susan. I don't answer yes, no's in the morning, sweetheart. I will be back later, hopefully. But all my yes, no questions and tarot readings are in the evening. She goes on to say, close your eyes and conjure up an image of yourself living in your ideal reality. Get as many specifics in place as possible. And when you feel the wave of joy and excitement rush through you, notice where in your body you feel it. Is it in your chest, your gut, your head? If no feeling hits you right away, stay in that space of visualizing your most joyful world and keep sinking deeper and deeper into the details of it until you get a visceral reaction. Once you've identified where in your body you feel the tingling of excited anticipation, make a point to keep placing your hands there all day today and conjuring up that feeling. The more grounded you become in the energy of your new reality, the sooner that new reality will take form in the physical world. Now, the one thing I will say when she talks about that, when you are manifesting, what seems to be, in my experience, is everything starts off in the head, right? We have this idea, we have this thought, we have this image that we want, right? So we think about it and we imagine things. And the more detail we put to it, or the more that we experience it, it seems to go from our head down to our heart. It might get stuck in our throat, wherever, but eventually it moves to the heart. And that's great. However, we're not done. Okay, we might get excited and we can feel our heartbeat, and, maybe our heart beats a little faster because we have that excitement. But if you truly want this to manifest, to me, in my experience, when it moves from the heart to the belly to the gut, that's when you know you have it. That's when you know that you've nailed it, that you are truly experiencing in your imagination what it is that you want, what it is that you desire. And you won't have to keep doing the manifestation or the practice. There might be times, again, that's why we create that little snippet that brings us right back into the feeling as if it's already ours. Because then, again, we feel it in that gut. It's not just, oh, wow, this is so exciting, I can't wait for this to happen, right? Or it's like, oh boy, here it is. Oh, it's gone through the 3 brain centers. There you go. I've never heard it called that, but that makes sense. And so when it's in our heart and we have that fluttering or that excitement or that jump in our heart rate, right? We're getting there. We're getting there. But then when it sinks down into that gut and it just feels like, there it is, right? It's a huge difference. And it truly, once you feel it in your gut, to me, it's almost unstoppable. It doesn't mean it's impossible to stop, but it's almost unstoppable when you're consciously. That's why, like, when you're scared and you're worried and you're stressed out and your stomach is going crazy, like you got those knots, that's why those things manifest so fast, in my experience. It doesn't mean that you can't stop it. You absolutely can. But you have to shift out of it, and you have to believe in what it is that you want versus what you don't want. Because think about it. That's our fears and our worries, like, easily get into our gut. We get those knots in our stomach. We get the flip-flops. We get nauseous, right? Sick to our stomach over it. So that's why it's easy for fears to really manifest, because we instantly drop them to our belly. Instantly. Whereas the things that we truly do want can sometimes feel too impossible to bring it right down to the belly that fast. But you'll do it, and you'll learn how to do it more and more the more you play with it. And like she said, the more you pay attention of where the excitement is. Right? It's going to start off in the brain. It always does. Right? And then you'll feel it move down too. I don't know how to explain it, but like you'll feel it in your face. You might get flushed, like, oh my God, this is exciting. The throat might get a little tense because you're like, should I talk about it or should I not? And then it'll go to the heart center, right? And so on and so forth. Yeah, it really does. When you think about it that way, it makes a lot of sense. That's why it's so easily manifested, our fears and our worries. It's just right there. Instantly, we feel it. Because it's just, I mean, I'm sure I know somewhere, somehow, why it is. Like, it's just easy because fear just is such a strong emotion. It's such a strong feeling. And nobody likes to be disappointed, but after you've been disappointed for so much, it's so easy to feel disappointment versus excitement and accomplishment. Put a I can't even say the word, on complaining today. Put a stop to it, okay? Every time you catch yourself about to launch into a disgruntlement, pause, breathe, and look for the lesson in the situation instead. Or find something to be grateful for in what you're currently perceiving as nastiness. Be diligent about this all day long, and notice how easy or difficult it is to shift gears. Notice if doing so changes your energy. Notice if editing your complaints makes it hard to talk. Notice if it opens you up to a different experience. Notice if you think it would be awesome to repeat this exercise tomorrow, too. Again, it's bringing yourself back to the present and being aware of what you're saying, what you're doing, how you're feeling, and noticeably changing it. Being intentional with saying, "Oh, there's a complaint." When I when I first started, like, just trying to pay attention to my thoughts and my feelings, I was mortified on how so much that came out of my mouth was negative or complaining or, a negative expectation. I thought I was a positive person. That's why I don't focus on positives. Like, you don't hear me talk about positivity very often. I do it to help connect with people, but, like, regardless of whether or not you're successful or whether or not you're happy, you're still going to have disappointments. And there's still going to be, quote unquote, negative experiences, right? But when you're successful, whether it's in business or love or, creating wealth or health. Like, it's knowing how to see the lesson, the blessing, or just the overall ability to shift and say, okay, no, I'm not going down this road. I'm not going to be that complainer. I'm not going to be the one who openly is, talking about and giving validity to their fears, to their bad experiences. I know I'm going to kind of seem as if I'm pigeonholing, and I'm not trying to, but this has been my experience. The baby boomers, I don't know if you guys have paid attention. I'm sure you have. But, like, my parents are boomers. And it's almost as if it was bragging rights for having the worst thing you experience. Having the worst thing happen to you. It always blew my mind. Like, they would sit down and be like, oh yeah, I went to the doctor today. Yep, I got 3 new medications. Or, yeah, it really, especially around their health. Yeah, all I need to do is take this pill and I'll be fine. And then next thing you know, they got 5 more pills because that pill created more side effects. That's just my experience. My parents and their siblings would talk about how they have all these problems, health-wise or wealth-wise. It was it was almost as if they were bragging, like, oh, you think you have it bad? Check this out. They were one-upping each other on the bad stuff instead of saying, oh yeah, we discovered this and this is how we're tackling it. They're like, oh no, I got diabetes, I got high blood pressure, I got high cholesterol, I'm taking 10 medications, I'm on, antidepressants, and it would blow my mind. It would blow my mind. We wouldn't hear from my aunts or uncles, but they would write letters. Oh yeah, just found out that I have high cholesterol. I don't know. It just always blew my mind. I'm like, I haven't talked to you in 2 years, but let me tell you about my health, right? Instead of saying, oh yeah, the kids are great, the grandkids are wonderful, so-and-so is going to school at, is in high school or college, or no. Just reiteration of how bad their health was. Blows my mind. All right. We'll do a couple more before I get off for the day. Our realities are make-believe, whatever we make ourselves believe we experience. Our realities are make-believe, whatever we make ourselves believe we experience. I'll say that again, that last part. Whatever we make ourselves believe we experience. When I lived in Barcelona in my 20s with my friend Jason, we rented a couple of rooms in a big apartment full of strangers. Strange ones, believe you me. The building was in an old part of the city that used to be fancy, but that had deteriorated in rows of crumbling, ornate tenements. Our place was marked by giant, bombed-out looking holes in its facade, junkies sleeping in its sweeping stairwells, and graffiti scrawled in Spanish across massive entryway doors, encouraging readers to suck my balls. Just me here. Yeah. It's all good. Jason and I rented adjoining rooms, each of which came with high ceilings, windows to match, a tiny balcony overlooking the street, and a creaky and questioning, habitable single bed. We had little money and even less stuff. So every Monday we'd go shopping in the streets, picking through the treasures our neighbors put out for garbage collection the next morning. I don't know if it's because my 20s have taken on the fairy-dusted sparkle of youthful times long past, or if Barcelona really was a magical city back then, or if the hash we were smoking was as good as we bragged it was. But everything we desired seemed to be hidden beneath a ham shank in the trash. Look, a Walkman, and it still works. One of my most lasting and cherished memories is Jason flinging open the heavy French doors that connected our rooms every morning and floating in wearing this glitzy brocade robe he found in the garbage. He'd carry in a mirrored tray, also garbage, sit on the end of my bed, which should have been in the garbage, hand me a chipped glass of cheap champagne and ask, "What shall we celebrate today?" We'd then sip and celebrate that it was a beautiful morning, or that we got to live in Spain, or that the prostitute down the hall had clearly moved from her home office to one out of earshot, or the fact that it was Monday, shopping, or that Paulo, who didn't know I was alive yet, would soon fall madly in love with me. Now that I'm older and wiser, I understand that these were not just the tipsy ramblings of happy-go-lucky youths, but the kind of gratitudinal thinking that leads to having the hot Argentinian boy who really didn't know I was alive suddenly appear out of nowhere and offer to help while I scrubbed the word Jehovos off of my front door. Huevos. Wake up in the morning and declare what it is that you'll celebrate today. I love it that way. I love how she explains it that way. Even better, write it down. Celebrate all of it. The good, the bad, the not yet happened. The key is that you truly rejoice in the feeling of gratitude for everything. For everything. Right? You wake up and declare what your day is going to be. I will be celebrating. Imagine at the end of the day, I finished that chapter of my book, right? I wrote that chapter. I wrote a chapter. I wrote 3 chapters. My book is finished. Whatever it is that you want to do for that day, celebrate it first in your mind's eye when you wake up. Start off the day like, today is going to be great. I know my meetings are going to go great. I know my lives are going to go great. I know that I'm going to, reach out and have a positive effect on somebody. So, take that with you. Set it up. Set up your day to experience joy, pleasant surprises, right? Feeling lucky, feeling safe, feeling secure, whatever it is that you want. Do it throughout moments of your day. Do it for things that may not happen today, but celebrate today as if it already did. Because that's how you pull it in. So that's where I'm going to end today. I want you guys to take the time to really look at your day. Practice with the things that you want and notice where you get excited when you're trying to manifest something. Notice where that excitement is in your body and see if you can somehow pull it all down into the gut to feel as if it's already done, to have that big sigh at the end, like, oh, there it is. It is. I just experienced it. I know it's coming. I know it's happening. I know it. Let it come to you. Let yourself experience it the way that you will. Don't try to automatically force it into your gut. Just notice where it is. And the more that you practice with it and the more you go through that imaginative experience, the more it's going to move. The further down it's going to move into that gut, into that full-on knowing. And I want you to be aware of, like she said, be aware if you're complaining, if you're, gossiping. Pay attention today. But I want you to notice too, if you start to get stressed, where do you feel your stress? I mean, some people, they feel stress like in their shoulder, maybe even their throat. But like most of the time when we're really worried, it's in our gut. And that's why it manifests. Pay attention. Notice that feeling. It's not going to be the same exact feeling when you hit the nail on the head with your manifestation, but you're going to feel it in the gut. It's going to feel heavy, as if it's, again, as if you're being held down, rooted down, because it is going to manifest and you can feel it. Whereas the fears, they're there and they're heavy, but it's a different type and it jumps around. It's not always in the same space, because you can remove those. You can remove any manifestation that's coming, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. So that is what I have for you guys today. I'm going to log off and get my day started, and I hope you guys have a fabulous Friday. Again, I will not be on Monday. I'm getting my tattoo therapy. I'm excited for it. But I will be back Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. And we'll dive more into this. We will most definitely be finishing this book. This is all we have left on this side. Next week. It's exciting. And I'm excited for the new one. And then we have to decide which book we're doing after this series. So we'll have to put the ideas out there, and if anybody else wants to get ahead of the game and have the book with them so they can explore it with us as we go along, great. If not, that's okay too. Alright guys, have a great day. Make it fantastic. Set your intentions to feel pleasantly surprised, to feel like the luckiest person in the world. Know that everything is working out for you. Feel that. Know that. Experience that. Alright guys, I love you. I will see you later. Have a fantastic Friday.